Hello, you guys. Welcome back to It's Abundance Podcast. I'm your host, Addie, and I'm so glad that you're here joining me for a new episode. It is May. Actually, when you're seeing this, it's been May for like a couple weeks, but I'm recording it in like the first week of May. And I kid you not, I am a whole new person. It is spring. The sun is out. It is beautiful. And I just feel like I'm getting my personality back. It's true. This winter was so hard. Like, I cannot believe how much I struggled with seasonal depression. I've kind of touched on it a little bit, but I just really struggled more than I think I ever have. Just like with our winter here in Michigan, it's crazy. And then we had a ton of rain. So this spring we even had like flooding and it was kind of a hot mess. But I feel like we are finally getting to the almost summer moments, and this is just like one of my favorite times of year. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited to be traveling, to get some sunshine, and to just like feel alive again. I cannot be the only one. I know I'm not the only one. So if you've been following along for the last couple of weeks here on the podcast, we have been doing some heavy topic things. We have been talking about diet culture. We've been talking about body image and food and just a lot of heaviness. And this week I wanted to break it up a little bit and bring to you guys my spring/summer like reset list. I feel like everyone always talks about doing like a reset or whatever. And this is not like, it's not like what you think. Like, it's not like these aren't like habits necessarily. These things are going to be drawing us closer to God in the first, like, end all be all, we're getting closer to God. One of the biggest things that I struggled with in high school and stuff was like when summer came around, all of like my routines got put on the back burner because it was summer and we kind of like let loose and like just, I feel like I just like completely got out of my routine, especially with the Lord. And since graduating high school and since kind of like having that, just the discipline of waking up and getting in the word and just kind of like finding that routine, I never let that slip because it has become my whole lifestyle. Like, rather than, this is kind of like touching on like that dieting stuff, but like rather than having the time period of I'm focusing hard on this part of my life and doing this diet, instead it becomes your lifestyle and eventually it just becomes what you do, and it's not like difficult to do it, if that makes sense. So this is my list. I think I have like 7 different things and I will kind of like dive into each of them, but 7 things that we can do this spring/summer to draw closer to God, to stay close to God, and to just kind of become like, I don't know, it just kind of like is exciting to like have like a new list of goals to do. So anyway, that's what we're going to be talking about. I will say before we dive into things, I have a little bit of an announcement at the end of this episode that I'm really excited to share with you guys. So stay tuned for it. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Okay, right off the bat, my very first thing that you should be doing this spring and summer is creating a routine that is sustainable. So I think that this was the biggest game changer in my life, was to find a routine that actually is sustainable. And I think that the difference between a sustainable and a non-sustainable routine is one that, like, if something happens or something like goes like quote unquote wrong or is like out of place, then your routine, either if it's not a sustainable routine, it gets all funky and you get kind of like flustered and you get really uncomfortable, and then you end up like not going back to it. And a sustainable routine is a routine that, like, if you do go on vacation or something does happen, then you can kind of adjust your routine without getting like amped up and anxious about it, and then you can go right back to it. So I think like there are days where I don't wake up at 5 a.m. There are days where I can't work out. There are days where I don't have, like, I woke up late and I have to get to the airport, and this happened back in December, but like I woke up late and I had to get to the airport and I couldn't have time. Like, I had in my head that I was going to wake up with enough time to read my Bible before, so that I just like setting my day up like that. And I woke up and I was all flustered because I missed my alarm and I had to get to the airport. But my routine is a sustainable routine that I could just adjust it, and I ended up just reading my Bible on the plane. And then the next day I got back to my routine of waking up and reading the Bible. Like, it just is like a routine that is sustainable. And I think that it's really important that we do this summer, because if you're in school right now, then you're about to be done, and your routine of waking up and going to school and doing all the normal things that you do 5 days a week is done. Like, it's coming to an end. So what's a routine that you can put in place that keeps you disciplined, but that isn't going to make you burn out and be exhausted? So I think that for you, maybe it looks like waking up between the hours of blank and blank. Like, I'm not saying wake up at 5 a.m. every day this summer, but I am saying, like, if you can set a goal for yourself to wake up during this time so that you can fill in the blank with whatever habits, then you're going to feel a lot better throughout your day. I promise you that our bodies are made for routine. They're made for these healthy habits. It's just a matter of whether or not you're going to give yourself the space, the time, and the energy to do it. So I think setting a time where you can, these are the hours, these are the windows that I'm going to be awake. And obviously, like, things happen and you can't wake up between whatever those hours are. Like, I'm thinking between 7 and 8. And you wake up and the habits can be whatever you want them to be. But for me, they would be getting in the Word, taking my supplements. I always drink warm lemon water in the morning. I've been doing that for the last probably like 8 months, and it just helps with like digestion, and I think it helps with your skin and stuff. And then so your supplements, and then I take those. I usually take electrolytes if I'm going to work out, getting some sort of movement in. This doesn't always happen right away in the morning. Sometimes it happens later in the day. Again, that's just a routine that is sustainable. It's something that can be fluctuated and changed. Getting some sort of movement in the day is so important. And then also sunlight. Like, this summer, take advantage of the sunrises, you guys. That is on my list. I do not want to miss out on sunsets or sunrises and sunsets. But like, the sun is so valuable. And I feel like this winter, I really just realized how much I miss the sun and how much I take it for granted in the summer. So I would like to get morning sunlight, movement, and then a nourishing breakfast. This is something that I see so many girls and college age, high school age students where they miss out, is fueling yourself. It is so important, and I'm not going to dive any more into it, but it is so important. I have all the inspo, so if you need breakfast ideas, I'm your girl. So that was number 1, is creating a routine, and a routine that is sustainable, a routine that can be changed, a routine that can be fluctuated. Sometimes it's fun to like write it out. Sometimes it's fun to put it in your notes app and just like make it like a thing, make it a challenge almost, that like you're going to try to create this routine for yourself that makes you feel good. And the thing is that it can look different. Like, I've realized that for some people, like, there are certain things that each one of our bodies like reacts to differently. And I think that that's the beautiful thing. Like, that's evidence of God, and that's evidence of his creation, and just the uniqueness of each one of us is that we all take on different habits differently. Like, warm lemon water might not be what you need. Electrolytes might not be what you need. Waking up between 7 and 8 might not be what you need. Like, there are things, and I think that that's just so cool, is that you can spend this time to create something that is sustainable, create something that works for you, that makes you literally feel good. Not in a like, I'm so cool kind of feel good, but in a like, this is drawing me closer to God. Like, I feel like my mind has been so much clearer since creating a sustainable routine. I have been able to give God the time of day, and ultimately, like, bottom line, I feel like my faith has grown so much through a routine. Like, I promise you, if you just try it, I think your life will be changed. And then the next thing, this was kind of in addition to this, it's kind of like a part 2 to creating a routine. But in my Bible time, I feel like I've been very convicted of this in the month of April, is just that, like, I give God, that space in the morning. I've been doing it for however long I've had this routine, and I carve out this time for the Lord. But it is just such a small window. And some might argue that it's a lot. Like, 30 minutes is a long time, and that's a long time to give God space to move. But I feel like in the month of April, I really struggled to like just understand the scripture that I was reading, and I just kind of felt like I was glazing over it and not understanding every verse, and not really having that desire to desire the word. And I've talked about that a little bit, but there's that verse in 1 Peter 2:2 about being like a child and desiring the word, like pure milk from its mother. And I thought that that was just so beautiful. And so I felt very convicted of just like, I have given God just this small ounce of time to move. And then I have been so frustrated that I cannot hear him and that I'm not understanding. And I've been frustrated with myself, not just with God, but frustrated just with that block of time. And I'm just wondering what it would look like for me to not wake up at the last second and give God just kind of like this little bit, or vice versa at the end of the day, giving God my leftover time, whatever's left in my day, after I've watched a show, after I've done all the things that I want to do. And I am bringing that here because I wonder if you guys are in the same position of you're confused why you're not close to God and why you don't have this incredibly strong relationship, and you feel like you're maybe not a good Christian. Maybe you've said those words to yourself. I would encourage you to evaluate your time with the Lord. Like, what is the quality of your time with Him? Are you giving Him just a small amount of space to move? In fact, I was emailing my community, which if you guys aren't a part of it, please come and join me. It is so fun over there. I'm going to read to you guys. I sent out like my May list of things that I wanted to do. And one of them was no time limits with God, which is this. I don't want to keep giving God the rushed leftover part of my day. When you sit down and you pray, but the back of your mind is thinking about the next thing and the next thing and the next day and the next week. I want to stop putting God in a tiny window and instead give Him more than enough time to speak, to convict and to comfort me, to direct me, and just be with me. Not because I have to, but because I need Him. And my heart knows that, my soul knows that, but my flesh just wants to skip ahead and wants to just like put Him in this little box. And yeah. So I feel like if you're somebody that is like that, maybe for this summer, our routine that we build is carving out not just a certain amount of time, but like an extended sitting in silence, an extended prayer, an extended just like no time limits. Like, I don't know even what that looks like for me, to be honest. Like, I'm still kind of like working it out in my brain, but like, do I wake up earlier? Do I set reminders on my phone? I used to set like alarms on my phone for like when to pray for people. Like, maybe I encourage that back into, or I put that back into my routine. I put that back into my day to day. It might look different for all of us. This next thing is audit what drains you. This is something that I know that I have said many, many times, and I still lack the doing part of it. Auditing what drains me, and I know it's social media. I scroll way more than I should, and I blame it on working from my phone, and it is exhausting. I talk about removing that habit, I talk about replacing it, and then I just never do it. And I just really want this to be the month and the time that I just do it, because I know that I will gain so much clarity back. I will gain so much time with the Lord back if I just don't scroll before bed, if I don't constantly check my phone. That was a part of that email, was scrolling less. I want to be more present in my actual life. I've noticed how easy it is to reach for my phone without thinking, and I blame it on I work from my phone. But truthfully, I'm not always working. I'm just trying to fill every quiet second with something, and to end the day feeling like I was everywhere except where my feet actually were. And I've seen a few other people do this, and this is what I want to incorporate, is like a no scroll. I've seen them do no scroll Sunday, and so I think that that's what I'm going to try to do. But it's basically just all Sunday, you do not scroll. You do not open the apps. And I know that people use like the brick, and I thought about getting it. It's just kind of expensive. So I'm like, what can I do to just not scroll without the brick? And so I'm going to really, really, really try and hold myself accountable. Maybe with you guys, maybe I will do like a series on socials, but I just don't want to scroll. I'm just so over it. I'm so exhausted from it. I compare literally all the time. And lately, this is like the time period with the Abundant Co that I feel like is like dragging, and it's difficult to not want to start over or to just like do something. And I think that that's why like you're going to see like an influx on Spotify right now of different podcasts that are like reset for 2026, summer 2026, or like, spring cleaning and spring resets and all these different resets, because it's true. I think we get into this rut and it's like we need a refresh, we need a redo. And I don't think it's a bad thing, but I'm like, why can't I make this a consistent thing? So I'm really going to try a no scroll Sunday and see how it goes. So yeah, audit what drains you. What in your life is taking away from your time with the Lord? What in your life is just making you exhausted and burnt out? And I get it. There are things like my job sometimes makes me exhausted and burnt out, but I cannot quit. I cannot just like be done for the day. Like I have a 9 to 5, actually a 7 to 5, and I work, and I have committed to that. And so then I think this turns into, I'm going to take an audit of what is draining me, and the things that I can remove, I'm going to do my hardest to remove, like scrolling, which is like my biggest thing. So I'm going to remove the things that I can remove, but the things that I can't remove, that are just a part of my life and are a part of the hardship of being a Christian and being a person on this earth, I'm going to take it to the Lord and I'm going to say, Lord, what am I doing in this spot that is making me drained? Because I want to bring you glory in it. Like, I think about my 9 to 5, like I'm making social media posts, emails, and like website edits and stuff for a landscape company. Like, I am doing this. Like, how can this be for the Lord? Like, it's easy to kind of put our life and categories of our life into like, this doesn't fit in, ministry. This isn't for God. This isn't like, this isn't a Christian-y thing. Yes, it is. Like, where your feet are is where God has you, which is where your ministry is. I was talking to a friend about that. Like, where you are is your ministry, and it is always meant to bring glory to God. And so I think if we take an audit at our life and we look at what is draining us, we have to ask ourselves, why is this draining us? Is it because we're making a kingdom of ourselves? Is it because we're making it all about ourselves? And how can we make it about God again? And I think seriously taking that to the Lord is going to change everything. It's going to change those pieces of our life, and maybe not right away, maybe not instantaneously. And there are going to be seasons of our life where we crash out and we burn out and we're exhausted and we have those mental breakdowns because it's our life, it's our sin nature. But taking it to God, I know that He can change it all for us. Okay, and then the next thing is to serve. And this is something that I really, really want to get involved in. I really love serving, and I've done a little bit in like girls' high school ministry at my previous church. And now that I've moved, I really want to get involved in the church that I'm at. I want to start serving there, and I want to put my feet in and just give, because your cup can be so overflowed through giving. And I think that's such an underrated thing. Everyone has different gifts, right? Like, we're all given different spiritual gifts. We're all given different. I just really want to get involved and to give and to see what God does in that. Another thing under that is going on a mission trip. If you have been like feeling that calling of going on a mission trip and you've been shoving it under the rug and you've been saying like, God, no, I just can't right now. Like, that's just not right now. What would it be like to say yes this summer? What would it be like to say yes to the very servant-hearted position that God has called you to? Or that maybe He's just nudging you to take a look at. And it doesn't have to be something super big. It doesn't have to be going on a mission trip across the country. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't even necessarily have to be in the church. Like, what would it look like for you to start serving others and giving back? Like opening up your home and making a meal for a neighbor, or texting a friend. Like, I think that there are these little things that we have overlooked as Christians. And we just, as people, actually, we just kind of we forget about it. We get in our own way. We get in our own tunnel vision of a life, and we just are constantly trying to move the needle and climb the ladder, climb the corporate ladder, whatever it is. And we forget that we're literally just people that are meant to love and to give and to pour out. Okay, and then kind of along with that is doing the things that you love again. And these can be really small. But like, I literally love traveling. I love doing crazy things, just like randomly. I think I'm going to be climbing. Don't take my word for it. But in the process, I want to go climb Mount Kilimanjaro. If you don't know what it is, just look it up and then come back to me. It is insane. My aunt actually did this, I think a couple years ago. Just feel this urge to do it, and it probably won't be this summer, but maybe this fall. And I really, really, really want to do it. So just doing the things that you love. And this does not mean go climb Mount Kilimanjaro or do something crazy or jump out of a plane or anything like that. But another thing that I want to do, maybe this would be something that you would relate with, is I want to read. I literally love reading, and I feel like I have not made enough time in my life, enough space to do the things that I love anymore. Haven't picked up like a book in so long. Actually, I recently did this a couple weekends ago. I did, and I was like, I literally love reading so much. So things like that, and then picking up new hobbies. My friend and I are doing sourdough. We're doing gluten-free sourdough and needle pointing. We have not tried it yet, but we will come back to you on how that's going. Just like fun new hobbies to pick up. I think that there's so much joy in those things. And again, like if you guys are somebody like me, like my brain for so long is just always like moving the needle, climbing the ladder, doing better, being more successful, making more money, this and this. And it's like you forget that you're just a human, and like it's okay to have fun. It's okay, like Jesus takes joy in these things. And it's okay for us to do that too. And on that same plane of things, like if you're somebody that maybe isn't staying disciplined, maybe this summer it looks more like honing in on and taking things seriously, taking your job more seriously, taking your future more seriously, and starting a budget, starting a plan, taking your goals and your dreams and putting them into action. So I think that there are levels, right? Like I'm somebody that kind of has all these goals and has all these dreams and then hyper fixates on them and forgets about doing the little mundane joyful things where I see Jesus in. So I think, and then there's somebody that maybe is just so used to doing all of these fun little things that you're forgetting that, we need to be stewarding our money well. We need to be having a goal and a plan and a mission and staying focused, right? So I think that, again, like auditing your life, right? Taking a look at how you have spent the last 6 months and what's the next 6 months going to look like. Not that we have to have it all figured out or that we have to have a plan, because we don't and we never will, but just taking accountability and taking action is something that God looks fondly upon. Being driven and being focused is a good thing. Okay, and then my last two also kind of go together, and it is being known somewhere. So since moving, obviously I've put myself in a new church, I've put myself in a new community, and it has been so incredibly great. I cannot believe how God has moved in ways that I never thought he would. And it's just like, I knew going into this, like moving, that I was going to see God do some incredible things, but I didn't know what it was going to be. And just the people, the community, the outreach, the gifts and the sweet people that I have met in these last few months, all glory to the Lord. Like I'm just so blown away by him once again. And I just think that it's so important to be known. Like never in my life have I ever felt so known by strangers. And I think that it's so beautiful and it's so underrated. I spent so much of my high school life just staying so focused on, getting better from my eating disorder, but just so focused on work and so focused on my future that I didn't let anyone in. And I feel like I'm finally letting people into my life and letting people see who I am, see the raw and the realness, and just allowing myself to be known. And I would encourage you to do that this summer. Like getting community, like join a group, join a Bible study, join a church. There's so much value in that. And then with that, this is where the announcement comes in. If you are looking for a Bible study, you're looking for a group and something to join this summer because your church is maybe taking a break, or you are, traveling somewhere, or you are a college student and you're going back home and you're leaving the community that you were just a part of, what a perfect time to join The Overflow. The Overflow is a community, an online community that we are going to be meeting once a month to do live ongoing Bible studies. We're going to be studying so many different things, and it's just going to be an online like group chat, and we're just going to meet so many different people from across the world and across the country. It's going to be amazing, and I would encourage you to join it. Every first Friday of the month, we'll be meeting for a live call from me. We'll be studying scripture. We'll be studying different devotionals all throughout the year. You'll leave with not just knowledge from the word, but you'll also be leaving with like actionable steps. I'll send like PDF guides. We'll send like different resources and just things, and we'll get to communicate all month long with each other, check in, stay accountable, and also just like a sweet and like fun place to be. I am so pumped. I have never been more excited to just launch something so chill yet so exciting and so valuable. So if you want to learn more or you have any questions for me, please feel free to reach out. But again, getting involved in community is crucial. It is so important. It is so valuable, and it has changed my whole life since moving. So I'm excited to be launching the Overflow, and I'm excited for you to join. You guys better join. And yeah, so those are my habits for spring/summer reset, and I would love to hear what your guys's are. I would love to see you joining the Overflow come June, and more stuff will be sent out via email and on socials and stuff, but you guys heard it here first, and I'm so excited to be launching this. Again, there are a lot of like different like things that I'll be like working out, so bear with me. Each month will be kind of like a test run. There is like a 7-day free trial too, so thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. I hope that you enjoyed this quick little fun lighthearted thing. We'll be back with heavy stuff, don't worry. You know how much I love the heavy conversations, and stay tuned for some interviews with people. And yeah, I love you guys so much. Happy May, happy spring. We'll see you next week.